Well, stay with us here on Impact. Still to come. Sri Lanka has a new president, but does that mean a new attitude? I'll be discussing that with the Justice Minister.
Thai people see the world different. When we are shy,
Islamic State beheading has been identified by the BBC. He is Mohammed Emwazi from London. And the Ukrainian military says its troops will start to withdraw their heavy weapons in the east of the country as part of the ceasefire deal with pro-Russian rebels. It was the election results very few were expecting, perhaps least of all Sri Lanka's president. After 9 years of increasingly authoritarian rule, Mahinda Rajapaksa was surprisingly voted out of office in January this year. The government of the new president, Maithripala Sirisena, has been slashing the former leader's influence and investigating corruption allegations against his family. And after years of strained relations, Sri Lanka has been seeking closer ties with Sri Lanka's closest neighbour, India. Well, with me in the studio is Sri Lankan Justice Minister Wijeyadasa Rajapakshe. Thank you, sir, for joining us here on Impact. Just under 8 weeks ago, the new president and the new government was sworn in. Did that come as a surprise to you even?
Yes, that was the expectation of the people, because during the past regime, the people felt that it was authoritarian government, and we had lost democratic values and principles. And it is the aspiration of our people that we must restore the democracy and good governance in the country.
Will you do that?
Certainly.
Lots of issues to deal with, though, not
Certainly.
least human rights issues.
Correct, that in the past there are certain allegations against the country, and also internally as well as from the internationally. But we are going ahead that the people are happy, international community is happy. All the countries are helping us, and we are maintaining a good diplomatic relations with all the countries as well as with the international organizations, including United Nations.
How will you deal with these allegations? Because there was a UN report that was to be compiled, and that's now been pushed back by the new government. How are you going to deal with it?
Basically, that's the previous regime did not have a better relations with the UN and other international organizations. Now we are building up, and we are quite certain that we can convince them with an international, with a domestic level of inquiry or process that we can sort out our own internal issues.
How will you do this?
At the moment, that there is a committee already appointed, just a panel of experts to get advice, headed by Desmond de Silva. He's a Sri Lankan, now living in UK, and few others. That we are waiting for those experts' opinion, and we are having a dialogue with all the stakeholders as to how that we can resolve.
Because up until this point, no one has been held accountable for some of the human rights abuses that took part at the end of the war in 2009 with the Tamil Tigers in the north of the country.
Now that is why that we are going to set up an internal process. That was one of the promises in our election campaign. So we are going ahead with that.
And there are also these issues that are being raised of secret prisons and camps where a lot of people are thought to be held. The UN says the numbers are in the thousands.
No, in fact that there are 47 convicted prisoners, those who are involved in the LTT terrorism. In addition to that, there are 189 in our remand prisons. We have already appointed a committee. We are waiting for a report as to whether we can prosecute against them. And if there are no sufficient evidence, of course, we will release them very soon.
What about the hundreds of people who went missing during the war?
With regard to that one, that we have come to an understand with the international agencies, and this disappearance committee, special presidential committee appointed to look into these disappearances, it is going on, it is in the process.
Prominent members of the Tamil community have said that the reason that more isn't being done about these secret prisons and camps, or people aren't being released, is because you don't want to lose your Sinhalese majority backing, especially ahead of parliamentary elections.
No, we are not concerned about the petty issues on the election promises and various things. We are concerned about the rule of law and the democratic norms and principles. And of course, whether it is Tamil or Sinhalese, it makes no difference. If there are charges, criminal charges, we'll have to prosecute. Otherwise, of course, we'll have to release them. We concede that there had been some mistakes and mishaps and delays during the last regime. That's we are going to accelerate the whole process and to do the justice.
How will you bring the country back together? Because a lot of blood was shed and there is a desperate need for reconciliation, and the Tamil community continues to feel ostracized.
Tamil community has the fullest confidence on the new president and the new government. That is why that in the last presidential election, so we got the highest number, it's a big majority from the people living in this warring area earlier, north and east. And the people have the confidence on our government.
Are you concerned that Rajapaksa could make a return?
I don't think that the people will not make a way for him to come back.
He did get 47% though of the vote in this election that just went by.
How much?
47%.
That is true. But with all that,
so he does have a support base still.
No, he got the 4.7 million votes because he contested as the leader of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, which is the main party in the coalition government. Now the chairman, the leader of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party is the present president, and therefore the whole bloc, maybe 5 to 10% left out, the whole bloc has come with the present president Maithripala Sirisena. It is not a vote given for former President Rajapakshe. It is for the party.
Justice Minister Rajapakshe, thank you very much for joining us here on Impact.
Thank you very much.
Let's get all the latest sports news now.